Did Jungkook of BTS just decide to leave HYBE? What really pushed the global superstar to the edge? And why did he finally say, "I can't take it anymore"? Fans are in shock, emotions are running wild, and no one can stop talking about this breaking revelation. Watch closely, share your thoughts in the comments, and don't forget to like, subscribe, and stay tuned for the full story behind Jungkook's emotional confession that could change everything. Did Jungkook of BTS just announce that he wants to leave HYBE? Could it really be true that the golden magne, the heart of BTS, the man whose voice defined an entire generation, has reached his breaking point? As armies across the world hold their breath, Jungkook's emotional words echo louder than ever. "I can't take it anymore." The revelation, raw and unexpected, sent shockwaves through the fandom and beyond. What really happened behind the scenes? Why would one of the most successful artists in the world suddenly speak about walking away from the company that built his dream? It all began with a moment, quiet, almost fragile, during a recent private interaction that caught everyone off guard. Jungkook, known for his perfectionism and tireless dedication, had always kept his struggles buried beneath his flawless performances. But that mask seems to have cracked. The tone of his voice, the weight of his words, and the tremble in his confession revealed a depth of exhaustion no one expected. Was this a cry for freedom, a sign of burnout, or the beginning of something far more complicated between Jungkook and HYBE? Fans quickly noticed that something had changed. His recent live broadcasts felt heavier, quieter, more reflective. There was no sparkle in his eyes, just a man trying to find meaning in the noise. "I love my members, I love the fans," he said softly, "but sometimes, I feel trapped." Those words struck a nerve. For someone who had always carried the image of unshakable strength, Jungkook's vulnerability became both heartbreaking and shocking. Could the world's most adored idol truly be reaching his limit? Rumors began to swirl across social media. Some fans claimed that internal conflicts within HYBE were wearing him down. Others whispered that creative differences had become unbearable, that Jungkook wanted more control over his music, his image, his life. "HYBE has been my home," he reportedly said, "but lately, it doesn't feel like home anymore." That sentence alone shattered millions of hearts. Was it possible that behind the glossy stage lights and million-dollar smiles, Jungkook had been silently fighting to reclaim his own voice? The pressure of being Jungkook, the prodigy, the perfectionist, the global icon, has never been easy. Since debuting as a teenager, he has lived under constant scrutiny, his every move dissected by the media, his emotions filtered through expectations he never asked for. Sometimes, he once confessed in an interview, "I forget who I am when I'm not on stage." Those words now echo painfully in light of his latest statement. If he no longer recognizes himself within HYBE, is it any wonder he's thinking about leaving? Yet, what makes this revelation even more shocking is the timing. With BTS members focusing on their solo careers and military duties, fans believed the bond with HYBE was stronger than ever. The company had always portrayed itself as a family, a place of trust and mutual growth. But could cracks be forming in that perfect image? Is Jungkook's statement a glimpse into a deeper tension that has long been hidden from the public eye? "I just want peace," Jungkook reportedly told a close source. "I want to breathe again." That single sentence turned the internet upside down. Peace, a word that sounds simple, but for someone like him, it might be the rarest treasure of all. For years, Jungkook has pushed himself beyond limits, recording, performing, and creating tirelessly for the sake of his fans. But every star, no matter how bright, burns out if it shines too long without rest. Could this be his way of asking for help, for understanding, for freedom from a system that demands perfection without pause? The emotional weight of Jungkook's words has left armies divided. Some are heartbroken, begging him to stay, to fight through it, reminding him of the love that has always surrounded him. Others, however, express support for whatever decision he makes. If leaving HYBE means Jungkook finds happiness, then we'll support him no matter what. One fan wrote. The outpouring of empathy shows how deeply connected fans are to his emotional journey, not just as an idol, but as a human being who has given everything to his art. But what could this mean for BTS as a group? Could Jungkook's departure trigger a ripple effect that changes the group's future forever? Many wonder if his words signal the beginning of a new chapter, one where he steps into full independence, free to create without corporate boundaries. Yet, others fear that leaving HYBE might distance him from the team that made him who he is. "I don't know what comes next," he reportedly said, "but I know I can't keep pretending everything's fine." The silence from HYBE has only fueled more speculation. The company has yet to release an official statement, leaving fans to interpret every gesture, every social media post, every subtle hint. Did Jungkook's recent emotional performances carry hidden messages? Was the sadness in his voice a quiet farewell? "He looked different," one fan observed after a recent event. "It's like he was saying goodbye without words." If Jungkook truly leaves HYBE, it would mark the end of an era. Not just for BTS, but for K-pop itself. His journey from a shy trainee to a global superstar has inspired millions. He is not just a singer. He is a symbol of passion, resilience, and artistic evolution. But perhaps even symbols need rest. Perhaps even legends need to reclaim their humanity. His statement, "I can't take it anymore," might not be a declaration of defeat, but of rebirth. A quiet decision to choose himself over expectations, to rediscover joy beyond the confines of fame. Still, questions linger. Was this frustration a sudden outburst or a long-buried truth finally surfacing? What exactly happened behind HYBE's closed doors? Did Jungkook feel creatively silenced or emotionally drained by the company's demands? Fans analyze his every word, his body language, even his silence, searching for clues, for reassurance, for understanding. The truth, perhaps, lies somewhere in between heartbreak and hope as emotions continue to surge online. One thing is certain, Jungkook's honesty has changed the conversation. In a world where idols are expected to smile through pain, his raw vulnerability feels revolutionary. It reminds everyone that behind the lights, the awards, and the applause, there's a young man who has carried the weight of millions, and who now just wants to breathe. If this really is the beginning of Jungkook's separation from HYBE, it might also be the start of his greatest transformation yet. A rebirth not as a company idol, but as a free artist, one who writes his own story without fear. The world will be watching closely, hearts pounding, waiting for the next move. Will he stay, rebuild, or finally walk away? Whatever happens next, one thing is undeniable. Jungkook's voice, trembling, sincere, and brave, has reminded us all that even stars need to find their own sky. So what do you think, ARMY? Could this really be the end of Jungkook's journey with HYBE? Or just the start of a new chapter no one saw coming? Share your thoughts in the comments. Let your emotions flow. Hit like if you believe Jungkook deserves peace. And don't forget to subscribe for every update as this story unfolds. Because something tells us, this is only the beginning. The world is holding its breath as Jungkook's haunting words continue to echo. "I can't take it anymore." What did he truly mean by that? Was it a cry for help? A quiet rebellion? Or an emotional release after years of silent struggle? As fans replay his interviews, his live sessions, even his subtle pauses between lyrics, one truth becomes undeniable. Something deep within Jungkook has shifted. He's no longer just the golden magne shining effortlessly under HYBE's spotlight. He's a man searching for truth beyond the stage lights, a soul longing for authenticity in a world that often demands perfection over peace. Behind every smile, every flawless performance, every moment of effortless charisma, there may have been exhaustion quietly building up. For over a decade, Jungkook has carried not just the name of BTS, but the weight of a global phenomenon. From the moment he stepped into HYBE's, then Big Hit's training room as a teenager, he was molded into a symbol of discipline, passion, and perfection. Yet symbols, no matter how strong, eventually